Hi, this is Cindy from Engineered Efficiency, and I'm going to be talking about tiling viewports for AutoCAD 2014. I have the George drawing open, and it's a good idea to have this drawing open and then a second drawing open. And that second drawing can just be a blank drawing, so there doesn't need to be anything on it, or it can be another drawing at the same time, just so you have two separate drawings on the tab here open at the top. You can tile viewports within the same drawing to be able to look at two separate parts of your drawing at the same time and be able to work between them. Any changes that you make on either viewport is going to be a global change, so it's going to change in both places. And so we're just going to look at a few of those configurations and then also how to tile your viewports between two separate drawings. On the View tab and the Model Viewports panel under ViewPort Configuration, if you select the down arrow, you can see that there's a whole host of different ways that you can split up your screen so that you can tile the viewports across your screen. So if I select 3 below, then I get 2 on the top and 1 on the bottom, and I'm able to click into that bottom viewport. I'm able to click on that upper right viewport and be able to look at something that I want to look at there, and I'm able to click on this upper left hand viewport as well and be able to look at a different drawing up here. Now I'm just able to click into each of these to be able to make changes, to be able to draw, and this allows me to be able to be looking at two things at the same time that might be really spread far apart on my drawing. After you've tiled your viewports, you can always go back to the single configuration, and when you go back to the single configuration, whichever viewport you had active is going to be the properties that your new viewport is going to have. So if I select this upper left-hand viewport and I go back to a single viewport, you can see that it's going to zoom full screen on that element that I had in that viewport rather than one of the ones in the other viewports. So I'm just going to go back to that 3 below configuration. And again, you can see that that is zoomed in to where I was on my original viewport. And so if I want to be able to make changes to this, I can just do that within each of these viewports. Then if I want to be able to join two viewports, so that'll join two adjacent viewports next to each other, I can select Join Two Viewports, and it wants me to select the dominant viewport, and then it wants me to select the viewport I want to join, and you can see then it joins those two together, and now I just have two viewports on my screen. When you go to join two viewports, they need to have one side that is equal in length, so in order for it to join them together it has to have an equal side. Tiled viewports between two drawings is a little bit different, so I'm just going to go back to my viewport configuration as being single. And as I said, I have a second drawing open, so in the tabs here on the top I can see I have my George drawing open, and I have drawing 2, which is just a blank drawing open. So over on the user interface panel on that same view tab, you can see there are 3 icons on the right, and they look very similar to the viewport configuration over here, and you can see that it says tile horizontally, tile vertically, or cascade. And what that'll do is it will bring up your drawings in that configuration. So on this top one, if I say tile horizontally, you can see on top I have the George drawing in its own viewport, and I have the drawing number 2 in its own viewport on the bottom. And again, if I tile them vertically, then they're going to look like that. And if I just want to go back to just looking at my George drawing, I'm just going to maximize my screen, and then they just go back to being 2 tabs on the top. So that's tiling viewports. Thank you.